for there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you're going. Can we read that verse 10 together from our different versions? 1, 2, 3, go. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might, for there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you're going. Years ago, a man was working in an establishment, and he was the one responsible for sweeping the place, being sent on errands, while the big people sit on their big tables and hold their pens and write and open files and do one thing or the other. And he said to himself, I also can become a big man. I also can be like these people that I'm answerable to. So what do I need to do? He enrolled in school, part-time while still working. Finished. That was not enough. He still went ahead again and continued. Cut a long story short, I've told you about him here before. Many years after, he became a professor in the same university where once upon a time he was just responsible for doing errands. I bring to you the Lord's message today that I titled Perspire to acquire what you require in life. Perspire to acquire what you require in life. Can we say it together? Perspire to acquire what you require in life. Can we say it one more time? Perspire to acquire what you require in life. Let's say it one more time. Perspire to acquire what you require in life. This is a great secret that you must never forget. One of the greatest men that have walked the face of this earth said something very remarkable. The man that is responsible for the electric bulb that we enjoy today. What is his name? Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison said, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. You can have a very good idea. The idea of a genius. But if you don't put it to work, it will die as an idea. You can have an idea that will change Malaysia as a nation. If it remains only as an idea there, you might be a genius. But Malaysia will remain the same. You can have a great idea that can change the fortunes and destiny of your life. And if it remains as an idea, it takes you nowhere. You can have an idea that will cause a revolution in your own family. If it remains only as an idea, it takes you nowhere. Many years ago, Teresa and Sally and maybe Isabel, if you've read the history of your country, Malaysia, you will recall that in the 60s, the Federation of Malaysia, combining all the different states that make up Malaysia, included Singapore. Until there was a small challenge at about around 1965 that led to lots of riots and uprisings. And the Malaysian Federation literally expelled Singapore. Singapore was expelled out of the Federation. When Singapore was expelled, Singapore was forced to become a country of their own. They did not choose to become one. Some people are fighting, killing themselves today to become nations, while some other people that want to be part of another country were sent packing. South Sudan that were crying and fighting for almost 3 decades to have a nation of their own. Today they are the youngest independent country. But what have they achieved? They have turned their guns on each other, killing themselves. I hope you know that more than 1,000 people have died already in South Sudan. They're killing themselves. They have turned their guns on each other. And that is why I'm a little bit skeptical if Bro Stanley is given Biafra, whether they will be able to stand. And that's why I'm very skeptical if Bro Bakare is given Odua Republic, whether they will be able to stand on their own. And that's why I'm a little bit skeptical if the Middle Belt Republic comes to reality, whether they will be able to stand on their own. Why? Because the Igbos have turned their guns on each other also in time past, even in recent times. The Yorubas once upon a time have turned their guns on each other and killed themselves. So have those in the middle belt of Nigeria. Those in the extreme north, they're used to it. It happens all the time. So if you leave them and give them an Arewa Republic or Boko Haram Republic, maybe they kill themselves and then finish themselves and nobody's left again. But when Singapore was excised out of the Federation of Malaysia, there were no jobs, there were no houses, a small population of people. The first prime minister appearing on television to announce to Singaporeans with tears in his eyes, weeping, and saying, I regret to tell you that now we are on our own, a country of our own. It was a sad announcement to make. But somebody came up with an idea. An idea that did not just remain here, an idea that was put to use to develop Singapore. If the idea had remained here, great, genius idea, wonderful. Without perspiration, there will not be success. Without perspiration, there will not be any achievement. The person in the control room, I think we've left you behind, right? Okay. So, that idea led Singapore to become, today, a developed country. Today, Singapore is a developed country. But our country, Malaysia, Sally, you and me, Teresa, and Isabel, Those of us Malaysians, Malaysia is still a third world country. I hope you know that. And Malaysia desires to be a first world country by 2020. But do you need a prophet to tell you that they cannot by 2020? How do I know? An idea has not been put to use, perspiration. As long as Malaysia remains like this, there is no way they can be a first world country by 2020. I'm not talking about the raiding and all those, forget about all those stuff. There is more to it, to advance. There are more ideas that need to be put to use. A nation of great potential. The Nigerians here will tell you their experience. Nigeria is one of the richest countries in the world. In the 50s and 60s, they exported seedlings and seeds of palm to Malaysia. Today, you go all over Malaysia. Sometimes when I travel for hours, I see palm plantations on vast land. In 1 year, Malaysia makes billions of ringgit from palm plantations. Exports from those vast palm plantations. While the Nigerians are using their own to cook food, palm oil. All that they get from the palm trees in Nigeria, they just make red oil, palm oil, and that red oil is a waste. To cook is just a waste because they should have just removed a small component of it, the one they need for cooking. But everything is used and cooked inside the food. The Malaysians, you will hardly ever see red palm oil in Malaysia. And yet they have palm oil, but you don't see it red. They have removed the things that make it red to make millions out of it and still have the palm oil to still cook. Perspire to acquire what you require in life. In case you do not acquire, don't retire, but do what? Refire. Don't retire, refire. You want to succeed in life? Don't go and just be sleeping like the passage he read. The Bible says, go to the ant, and thou sluggard, lazy man, slothful man, go to the ant. Consider her ways and be wise. This is very important because we're in a generation where people don't believe in skillful, wise, hard work. We're in a generation where people don't see any dignity in labor. We're in a generation where people wanted the easy way. They don't want to burn the midnight candles like we say in those days. Don't have candles now. They don't want to keep the light on all night and be working while others are sleeping. Someone said, and rightly so, the heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight. But they, while their companions slept, kept toiling upward in the night. Where are the midnight candles? Where are those that will stay awake while others are sleeping? Because they want to change the world. Because they want to achieve something great. You know why a lot of people are in trouble today? They don't want hard work. They want it the easy way. They feel if they deal in drugs, one successful attempt, 1 million ringgit. So they go for the shortcut. They feel, well, if they do Yahoo, maybe one good hit, pow, 100,000 ringgit. So, they've hit a jackpot. Or if they go the hard way, no. I know there is one university in Malaysia. Pay 10,000 ringgit and collect a certificate without working for it. They already have a certificate. Some universities say, no, some universities, no. You have to work hard. I go to a university where I pay them money and they will give me the certificate. They don't want to work. Some people don't want to work. They want to ride big cars. And they don't want to do any big work. They want it the easy way. They want to eat their cake and they want to still have it. We're in a generation that is extremely lazy. Because everything has been made easy for us. You almost don't need to do anything. Somebody just lie down on the bed, press the remote, pow, the TV comes on, change the channel, do everything. Press a remote, maybe owns the heater. Only they has to get up from the bed and go and bath. Maybe soon they will employ robots to be bathing them, carry them to the bathroom and wash them and bring them back and dress them up. And the Africans especially are extremely lazy in this country. Why do I say so? Because I've rarely seen any African doing manual labor in Malaysia. I was driving yesterday. I saw somebody that looked like an African doing manual labor. I had to come later again, drive closely and take a look because I've never seen. And I saw that he was not an African. The Africans would not do manual labor because they believe it's for some non-entities somewhere. One of my Chinese friends, African, used to always have financial problem, money. They keep giving him. One day, they said, instead of disturbing us for money all the time, come and work for me in my restaurant. The boy said, that work is beneath me. I cannot do it. And yet he doesn't have money. Said, my brother is in London. And so on, you're having financial problem. Go to your brother and stay with him. He said he cannot work in a restaurant. It's beneath him. And the Chinese man was so disturbed. He was asking me, why are your people like this? But yet, he's not beneath collecting money, but to work for it, he doesn't want. He doesn't want to work for the money given. Perspire to acquire what you require in life. Once upon a time, you sincerely, I have been an Okada rider. As a university undergraduate, I've been an Okada rider during break, carry people, collect 5 naira here, collect 10 naira here. One time, even had a small accident, collect and collect and collect. And it doesn't stop me from becoming a graduate. It did not stop me from graduating from the university. And so, how can I be an Okada rider? Okada rider is for school dropouts. One day I carried someone and then we're discussing, and he saw that the English was good. And he said, how are you? He must be an undergraduate from a university. Why are you studying? Because they always think, those Okada people are all those, you don't know what they have even said. They have finished speaking. Where you want to go, huh? Zoom, brrr, overtake from left and right. They can even pass almost under the trailer and come out on the other side. There is dignity in labor. The Bible says there is profit in every labor. Every labor has profit. Perspire to acquire what you require in life. Don't sit down and close your eyes and hoping that bread, manna will just drop from heaven. No. The Bible says that anyone who does not work should not do what? Should not eat. Should not eat. If you are not working, don't eat. They have said foreigners don't work in restaurants, fast food restaurants and all such. Now they have said international students, you can work in the restaurants. So if you are a student, go and apply and get a job. One of my former members, they will give him job. He will say, how much they pay this one? 1,500. Pastor, I can't do those kind of jobs. 1,500. What is your qualification? Diploma. He has only diploma. Only diploma, and you can't work 1,500. How much do they pay a graduate in Malaysia? Do you know where graduates begin from? Do you know, Sally, how much they pay a graduate from the university? Their first salary, where it begins from? Just 1,700 ringgit a month. 1,700 ringgit a month. A whole university graduate. And somebody with diploma that is not even from Malaysia, is from somewhere, maybe they don't even recognize the institution he got the diploma from. And then they say, no, those kind of jobs, those money is chicken feed, is too small for somebody like me. He was the one that you would just press the laptop, pimp, 50,000 has entered the account. He was the one that he will cross over the road and some things will exchange hands. And then 100,000 has entered, confirmed. And the one that you pick phone, make few calls here and there, the thing don't enter. Okay, confirmed. That's all. But to go and be walking every day, enter LRT, like Brosiwai, and come back at midnight tired, go back again in the morning. No, since Brosiwai started walking, we don't even see him during the week. It's not easy to walk in Malaysia. They walk you, you walk like an elephant, and then you eat like an ant. One kid, they walk back on the shop. You walk and walk and walk and walk and walk all day. At the end of the month, they count 1,500 ringgit and they give you. And then some people look, all this all 1 month, that 1,500, I can get it in 3 days if I know how to press one button somewhere. And so they don't want to labor and they don't want to work. But there is profit in every labor. And let me tell you, when you labor, God gives you, even if it's only 1 ringgit, that 1 ringgit is blessed. That 1 ringgit will do what 1 million ringgit would not do for somebody else that got it in the way of unrighteousness. Perspire to acquire what you require in life. 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. I remember when I was doing my PhD research, sometimes I leave the house in the morning and I'm not back till after midnight. I'm still in the laboratory. Some people, they just appear a few hours, they disappear. Within 4 semesters, I finished all my lab work, finished collecting all my data and everything. I'm ready to begin to write my findings. One of my supervisors said, which semester? Oh, this is too fast. This is too fast. Too fast. When I was working day and night, nobody knew how fast it was. When I'll be hungry and I'm not fasting, but because I want to finish the schedule for the day, I'm there. When I'll be the last person to leave the faculty, the first time I didn't even know that they lock everywhere in the faculty after midnight. I came out of the lab and I wanted to go home when they are locked, when they're locked, when everywhere locked. How am I going to sleep here? I did not plan to sleep inside the lab, even though you can sleep in the lab, because when I was doing my master's, I used to spend the night sometimes in the lab, sleep in the lab till morning. But I wasn't ready to sleep in the lab for even 1 day for a PhD. At least I've suffered enough first degree and master's. PhD should not be as hard as the other ones. I wanted to go and no way to go out. I didn't know that one of the doors, there is something you can press from inside and the door will open. You can go out, but you cannot come in. But anybody stranded inside can go out. Once you go out, you cannot come back in again. Only if you're inside, you can go out. I just said, well, let me touch. I can see one button somewhere. Touch it. I touched. Nothing seemed to happen, but as if something moved small somewhere when I touched it. Touched it again. I touched it and then pushed the door, and it looks as if it opened. And I left. Perspire to acquire what you require in the life. One time, the library, I will be like the first person appearing there while they're still cleaning. I need to walk. I need to labor. I need to perspire. Even a genius, if he doesn't go to school, he would not be a genius. Even a genius, if he doesn't use what is here, put it to use, it will just end up where it is. If somebody says, oh, I am a genius, so I don't need to go to University Malaya or University Putra Malaysia. Oh, Malaysian government, you know me, I'm a genius. So just make me professor from my house. It will never be. So I'm a genius, I don't need to attend any class. Bring the exams to me, even the genius has to attend lectures. Genius has to listen in class, has to read. Perspire to acquire what you require in life. Just recently, I collected from the Postgraduate School of University Putra Malaysia the video of the 3 minutes thesis competition that we had. And then I played my own as one of the 3 winners in the university. And then I was watching and listening to myself. And I was wondering, was it really me? Was I the one? You know, saying all those things within 3 minutes. But how did I come about it? Practice, practice, practice. Sometimes I'm driving the car and I'm practicing what I can say within 3 minutes. A whole thesis of over 200 pages in 3 minutes. How am I going to do it? All the research of years within 3 minutes. Sometimes I enter the toilet and I just speak to myself. Sometimes I go somewhere, take a little walk while the breeze is blowing on me, I just recite to myself. Because I knew it was going to be a tough competition. University of Putra Malaysia, UPM, has more than 20 faculties and institutes in one university. If you don't believe me, ask that girl behind at the back there. Her name is Imo. It is not only large in size, but several faculties and institutes. And the 3 minutes competition we're going to do, in one faculty, they will gather the PhD students, they will compete among themselves in what is called the hits. After they finish the hits, they will go for the finals at the faculty level. When they finish the finals, the best 3 people from each faculty will be chosen. And these best 3 students from each faculty will now go to the university level. Now all the faculties come together. And they will clash again and do another hit, like preliminaries. And others will be drop, disqualified. And then they now choose the best 12 PhD presentations in the whole university. And they now go for the finals and they clash. So those 12 are actually the best from the best of the best. So when you just appear there, you'll be greatly intimidated by the time you hear the first presenter finish talking. You wonder, wow, this is world class. What am I going to say after this one? What am I going to say? I'm sure the judges had a tough time deciding which presentation is better than the other. Because when the best of the best of the best of the best meet, the difference between one and the other might just be 1 mark or 0.1 or something. And sometimes you are even at a loss. One of the judges conveys one and said, this job is very difficult. It's very difficult for us to decide who are the best here because everybody is good. And then having to face such a competition, you would need to perspire. Practice. Some people have heard Steve Jobs deliver a speech, one of the best speeches in the world. By anybody, he's Steve Jobs. He's one of the best. And do you know what he does? He spends hours preparing his slides. Hours practicing. Hours thinking of what he's going to tell the people. We were in a workshop where they were teaching speaking, public speaking, and they played one of the videos of Steve Jobs. One of the people, they played his video to show us how to deliver a public speech. And as Steve Jobs just came out in his jeans and t-shirt, and he said, I've waited for 2 years for this day. Even the way he started, wow, the audience were already captivated to hear What have you waited for 2 years to tell us? Everybody's attention was caught, listening. Do you know for how many days and weeks and months he has been practicing the first statement he was going to make to the people? Because in public speaking, the first statement you make determines whether the people will want to listen to you again for the rest of the time you'll be talking. If by the time you come up, the first impression you give them is a wrong one, they start losing interest already. But it takes practice. You see beautiful presentations, very nice slides and all that. It takes practice, Perspire, to acquire what you require in life. You want to become a senator. You want to become the president of your country. It's the time to start practicing how to become a president. Barack Obama was a student leader in his university days. He was a student parliament leader. It wasn't today he started speaking to people. He had been doing it for a long time. Perspire to acquire what you require in life. In case you do not acquire, don't retire, but refire. Can we see the remaining slides? Just move on so we can round up. Or is the thing hanging? Glory to Jesus. What do you require in life? Spiritual growth, husband, money, wealth, success, good health, long life, land, houses. What is it that you require in life? Perspire to acquire what you require. Next. Perspire means prayer. P. E, effort. You must put in some effort. You don't just sit down and sleep and say, well, everything is just going to come to him who waits. No. Don't be deceived. Anybody who just sits and waits, everything does not just come because you're waiting. If you wait and do nothing, you might receive a knock, like one great man of God said. What you might receive at the end of the day is a knock. Because sometimes people deceive themselves and said, everything just comes to he who waits. And then you sit and you're waiting and doing nothing. If you do nothing, nothing happens. If you keep doing the wrong thing and expecting that you get a different result, you won't. You will keep getting the same result. 1 plus 1 will always be 2. If you go to Germany and do 1 plus 1, it won't become 3. It will still be 2. You must put in some effort. Number 3, relationships. This is from Perspire as an acronym. R is relationships. Cultivate good relationships. I was advising the workers here. I said, some of you are afraid of Malaysian police. Make a friend among the Malaysian police. Some Africans, they are not wise. Let me teach you one of the secrets you don't know. You want to stay happily all the time in Malaysia, don't run away. Make one policeman your friend. Yeah, it's in the Bible. Just make him your friend. During Hari Raya, just buy one kambing for him. One goat and give him to slaughter. It is not a bribe because he didn't do anything for you. Just give him simple gift. Have a good relationship with him. When the day of adversity comes, the day you have any problem, he will come to your help. He will come and say, this is my friend. Why are you carrying him away? Remove those handcuffs from him. He's my friend. What did he do? Just make him just one friend. Because let me tell you the truth, you don't know. Or some of you know. Malaysian police, they are like the police in Africa. They are not properly paid. Do you know how much they earn a month? No, I'm telling you. They don't pay them well. Sally, you don't know? You know? Isabel, do you know? Their salary is not very good. That's why they are collecting those 50 ringgit and 100 ringgit. You see them wear nice Malaysian uniform, but their salary is not as nice as the uniform. So it's difficult for them to break even. Sometimes you don't blame them when they're collecting the money because they also need some money. So they become corrupt. I'm not justifying their corruption. I'm not saying that their corruption is good. But if you have a good relationship with a king, the day you'll be slaughtered and the king gets to know, would the king allow them kill you when you're his friend? When they wanted to kill Daniel, even when the king had signed a decree, irreversible decree, the Bible said that the king walked day and night. He did not sleep. He was seeking for a way to deliver Daniel from the lion's den. He didn't want Daniel to be killed. He did everything possible as a king until his lieutenants came and said, King, just forget it. You want to set the man free, forget it. Remember, the law of the Medes and Persians cannot be changed, even by the king. Once you issue it, you as the king, you cannot change the law again. So, there is nothing you can do. Because they knew that the law of the Medes and Persians altered law. That's why they asked the king, make a decree for 21 days that nobody should pray to any other god except to you, O king. And sign it, put the seal so that it would be like the law of the Medes and the Persians. And their target was Daniel. And the king labored day and night. He must have been doing a vigil that night while Daniel was in the lion's den and said, oh God, are you know the God of Daniel? Daniel used to serve you. Deliver him from the lion's den. Did God deliver Daniel or not? There was an angelic visitation. And those lions that were supposed to eat Daniel, can just imagine that Daniel just say, you the biggest of the lions, come, lie down here. Just put his head on it as a pillow. And say, hey, you baby lion, come. Put one leg. The other one, come. Lie down. Was sleeping and maybe snoring. Because the angels were watching over him. So make a good friend, good relationships in destiny. Let me tell you that some of the greatest people in this life, do you know how they became great? By just a good relationship. How do you think some people call him shoeless? How do you think a fisherman became the president of Nigeria? Good luck, Ebele Jonathan. Good relationship. Good relationship. Good godfathers. Good political gladiators and political bulldozers. Because he doesn't know anything about politics. You think it's his own hard work that brought him there? Good relationship. Those who knew how to do politics, the political, what name do they even call them? Juggernauts or gladiators, paved the way for him and put him there. And he's there, you're blaming him, he's not performing because of those people surrounding him. When you have a good relationship, before you know tomorrow, Bro Shooks is the president of Burundi, then he will invite you and say, come and be my minister of finance. Opportunity that you've been waiting for. To make the money you make within 1 year as the minister of finance. The money you can make from just traveling around is even enough. Even if you don't have to go anywhere. I tell you, those in public service, they don't need to steal to make money. But some of them is because they're not very wise. All you need to do to make money is just keep traveling. Just say, I'm going to China, DTA. By the time they add it, 2 million, apart from the other ones. Next week, you said, I'm going to Argentina for connections for Nigeria. You travel again, add the DTA, 5 million. Another week, you said, I'm going, this is very important for Nigeria. I'm going to Brazil, so I can bring some business partners. And they calculate how much. You spend 10 days there, each night, so amount will be paid to you. And when you go there, you make a phone call and say, it's very important. We've almost sealed the deal. 10 days is not enough. I need another 10 days more. So they add some more money. Some good money. By the time you return back, you said, the Prime Minister of Malaysia said there is a very important matter that needs to be discussed about Nigeria that cannot be discussed over the internet. So I need to travel also. DTA, calculate. By the time they calculate all those ones within 1 year, it's a lot of money without stealing. what you're entitled to by traveling is already a lot of money. Good relationship. Very important. I cannot overemphasize this, because some people have gotten breakthroughs because this good relationship has to do with help us in destiny. People that God has ordained that they will take you to the next level in your life. People that God has ordained that they will introduce you to the place of greatness. John the Baptist introduced Jesus to the people, announced his coming. That John the Baptist that you need to announce you, God has prepared him for you. You need good relationship. That is why I advise people don't have any bad relationship with anybody. Always be good to all men. You know, they say be good to people that you meet on your way up, because you might need them on your way down. So be good to everybody. Even the person that sweeps your condo, when you see her or him, greet the person. Make the person your friend. You never can know. I've told you, somebody who used to clean became a professor. You never can tell the cleaner might become the Prime Minister of Malaysia tomorrow, Sally. You don't believe me? The President of Zambia, Michael Sata, was once upon a time a menial worker in the railway station in Zambia. When he worked in the railway, they were the ones doing the menial jobs. Today, he's the president of Zambia. Michael Sata, go and find out. So don't despise a cleaner. Joseph was a prisoner. Didn't he become the Prime Minister of Egypt? Become the Prime Minister of Egypt. Good relationship. Be good to everybody. Make everybody your friend. Everywhere you go, make everybody friend. Friend, good friend, not the kind of one the Malaysian boys say friend. They call you friend and put handcuff on you. Say, friend, come here. Say, friend, come here, and they will arrest the friend again. Why are you arresting your friend? After you call the person friend, you arrest him. Relationship, very important. Step of faith. Step out of your comfort zone and do something outstanding to move forward in life. Today, by God's grace and mercies, the latest couple in Maranatha Praise will soon be arriving, Mr. and Mrs. Udeme Udwak. Do you know how it happened? You are shouting, you didn't do what Udeme did. Last year, it didn't take too long. Udeme took a step of faith to get married, even when he didn't have enough money. And he took a step of faith and met Sister Tommy even when she did not want, did not agree. He did not give up. He took a step of faith. He met me and said, oh, I'm planning, I want to get married by so-so and all that. First, it looks as if it's a joke. But I know that all things are possible. And there is somebody here listening to me that will get married this year also in Jesus' name. Took the step of faith. Of course, Sister Tommy, as usual, the shakara that ladies do, you talk to them, even if they love you, they will say no, they are not convinced. They will tell you they're still praying. They will tell you, don't disturb me too much. If you disturb me, I won't talk to you again. But somehow, if you're a wise man, you will know that the girl is going to say yes one day. Anytime you propose to a girl, like I used to tell you, and she smiles at you and take off her face, a sign of breakthrough there, brother. A sign of breakthrough. If she just looks at you and she can't look at you straight, she just take off her face or look at the ground. She like you, she doesn't want to say it. But if you talk to a girl and she just size you up, look at you eyeball to eyeball, just look at you from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Bro, you better run away, you miss road. You don't miss road, brother. The girl doesn't like you at all. That one, it will take special prayer, special grace. You need to call some men of God with high tension anointing to pray before she will say yes. You need to take a step of faith. He took a step of faith today. They are married. He's enjoying himself with his wife. We're doing 100 days fast, but they are exempted. The general overseer said any newly married couple should not fast. So he's exempted. You can be fasting, your mouth becomes dry. He's enjoying with his wife. No fasting, maybe till next year. And some of you are here. You're already 30 berkete bole years old. Still, you're not married. Some cross over into 40, not married. What are you waiting for? You're getting too old. The sisters here that are still single, what are you waiting for? If you can't find a husband, tell me, I give you one. Take a step of faith. What are you afraid of that you don't want to get married? Those brothers, if you can pay your rent of your condo, then you are strong enough to marry a wife. Anybody who can pay rent in Malaysia can marry a wife. I tell you the truth. How much is rent in Malaysia? You pay 2,000 ringgit. One condo, 2,000 ringgit is 100,000 naira. And I've been to a place in Nigeria where I found in a town 4-bedroom flat, almost 5-bedroom flat. I stayed there for a few years. I paid only 50,000 naira for 1 year. 50,000 naira for 1 year. Yes. So if you can be paying this much in Malaysia for rent, you are very rich. In Nigeria, if you don't stay in Port Harcourt, Abuja, and Lagos, those big places, look for a small place and stay there. You pay rent of 1 year, 100,000 naira for the whole year. It's enough for you. Why should you go and spend a lot of money in Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and those big cities where there is fighting every time, there is too much rush, hustling, and too much. I don't know how people survive in Lagos. Each time I enter there, I want to leave the next minute because the life there is too fast for me, and I'm a little bit slow. And the guys there, they're too fast. You're too fast. Slow down. Years ago when the guys were calling, call the name slowly. Let me hear where I want to go. Call the name.